Salam Keluarga Malaysia, hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Berita RTM and you're watching News at 10. Our headlines for tonight. Stern action awaits students who sell their peranti siswa tablets. BN candidates to be thoroughly vetted. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa today confirmed that there were cases of sale of peranti siswa tablets. He warned that stern action would be taken against the individuals involved in selling the device that they received under the Keluarga Malaysia Peranti Siswa program. Tan Sri Anwar informed 14 cases of sale of the tablets were reported nationwide so far, and the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPD and HEP is closely monitoring the development. He said the act of selling the device was indeed irresponsible and that the government viewed the matter seriously.
Saya akan menimbangkan satu tindakan di mana yang menjual itu di buyback secara rasmi ataupun tidak. Kemudian apabila peranti itu kita perolehi, kita boleh trace siapakah yang menjual. Dan mereka-mereka yang mengambil tindakan sedemikian, yakni menjual, ada langkah-langkah tertentu yang boleh kita ambil, termasuk memaparkan nama-nama mereka secara terbuka kepada pengetahuan umum, sama ada di portal peranti siswa, dan juga memaklumkan kepada pihak universiti yang berkenaan.
Reports on students selling their peranti siswa tablets, namely Samsung Galaxy Tab A8 LTE for a price lower than the market price, went viral on social media yesterday. The Keluarga Malaysia Peranti Siswa program is the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia initiatives to help the students and undergraduates from the B40 households. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Anwar, who is also chairman of Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation, said it has rejected recommendations to float the prices of eggs or to import eggs, although there's a shortage of supply in the domestic market. To address this issue, the task force recommended that the subsidy of 8 cents per egg be increased by 2 cents, which involves a financial implication of 20 million ringgit a month, or the existing control price be raised by 2 cents per egg.
Bagi menutup jurang perbezaan di antara kos sebenar pengeluaran telur dengan harga maksimum campur current subsidi. Jadi kedua-duanya ini diputuskan peringkat jawatankuasa tapi belum dianggap muktamad kerana situasi yang ada pada masa sekarang ini. Perkara ini akan dirujuk kepada Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri dan Yang Berhormat Menteri Keuangan kerana ia ada mempunyai implikasi keuangan dan dia sedikit berbeza daripada keputusan yang telah dibuat oleh Jemaah Menteri beberapa minggu yang lalu.
Meanwhile, Tan Sri Anwar said that there was a shortage fall of more than 96 million eggs a month as higher production costs that caused monthly output to drop to only 871.9 million eggs compared to demands totaling 968.8 million eggs. Therefore, the government assured that the supply issue will be managed and enforcement will be continuously conducted. All prospective Barisan Nasional BN candidates for 15 General Election GE15 will have to undergo vetting, including by religious department, before they can be allowed to contest. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa said the vetting by the religious authority, the first time to be carried out for elections in the country, is aimed at ensuring that the prospective candidates are not among those involved in Sharia cases, including matrimonial issues.
Dan kita pun kena buat saringan juga, kena buat vetting tu antara nama-nama yang dicadangkan tu Kita akan buat vetting dengan polis, dengan pihak PDRM, pihak SPRM, insolvensi. Mungkin kali ini dengan Majlis Pejabat Agama pun ada isu nafkah anak tak bayar ke, yang kena judgement dah masuk oleh Mahkamah Syariah ke. Kalau dulu kita tak pernah cek seperti itu. Kali ini mungkin lebih detail.
On the application of Parti Bangsa Malaysia PBM to become a BN's component party, Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri said the matter was still under consideration. The Election Commission has set the polling for the GE15 on 19 November, nomination on 5th November and early voting on 15th November. Earlier, the Prime Minister attended a briefing on preparations for the GE15 and Northeast Monsoon 2022 at Bukit Aman. Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri said the polling for the GE15 is expected to proceed smoothly as the authorities had made advanced preparations. Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri said 58,227 police personnel would be deployed on polling day, adding that the amount was seen to be sufficient to ensure that the polling process can be conducted in an orderly and safe manner.
Yang pertamanya sewaktu pengundi awal. Seramai 5,661 anggota akan digerakkan. Yang kedua, sewaktu penamaan calon. 31,183 pegawai dan anggota. Yang ketiga, sewaktu penjumlahan undi. 43,716. Dan yang keempat, sewaktu hari mengundi. Sewaktu mengundi itu, memangkah tu, 58,227 pegawai. 58,227 pegawai. Jadi mencukupi. Ya. Mencukupilah untuk yang paling ramai sewaktu hari mengundi itu 58,000. Pihak polis anggota ada 120,000 seluruh negara. Jadi cukuplah.
He also said almost 70,000 police, Malaysian Armed Forces, People's Volunteer Corps RELA, Civil Defence Department and Fire and Rescue Department were also ready for the floods. The number of personnel would be increased according to the situation if floods strike on an unusually massive scale throughout the country. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister denied accusations that the government was trying to make it difficult for voters to exercise their democratic right by holding the polls during the monsoon or on a weekday.
Hari mengundi hari Sabtu. Jadi ramai yang tuduh kajian nak buat trik. Konon-kononnya supaya orang tak balik nak suruh mengundi hari kerja. Tak betul tu. Kita dah tetapkan mengundi hari Sabtu. Kita beri kebebasan sepenuhnya kepada rakyat kita untuk mengundi. Kerana itu hak yang dijamin oleh perlembagaan. Jadi kita bagi mereka mengundi hari Sabtu. Kalau kita buat hari Ahad, ada negeri bekerja hari Ahad. Kalau kita buat hari Jumaat, negeri bekerja hari Jumaat. Tapi hari Sabtu, semua cuti hari Sabtu. Jadi sebab itu kita pilih hari Sabtu.
Coming up next, over 200,000 Rista smallholders to receive RM191 million monsoon season aid this year. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria arrived at the Changi International Airport for a 4-day state visit. Upon arriving, Their Majesties visited several historic areas in the country. They were welcomed by Singaporean Education Minister Chan Chun Sing, Malaysian High Commissioner to Singapore Dato Dr. Asfar Muhammad Mustafa and Transport Ministry Secretary General Dato Isham Ishak. The King and Queen, accompanied by daughter Tengku Puteri Raja Tengku Puteri Afzan Aminah Hafizatullah, first visited the Asian Civilizations Museum (ACM). On arrival at the museum, Their Majesties signed the visitor's book and then were taken on a tour accompanied by ACM Chairman Mark Lee. After that, Their Majesties went to the Edible Garden City, an urban garden concept attraction which was once a prison transformed into a farm to boost Singapore's agriculture. Tomorrow, Their Majesties will be headed for the National Welcoming, Audience Granting and National Fete hosted by Singaporean President Halimah Yacob at the Palace. 232,319 registered rubber smallholders under the Rubber Industry Smallholders Development Authority (RISDA) will be receiving the Monsoon Season 8 BMT this year, involving an allocation of RM191 billion. The payment will be made in early November as usual and is not affected by the 15th general election period beginning 5th November.
Dia macam ni, dia sebenarnya dia bulan 10, 11, 12. Jadi bergantung kepada bila wang tu dimasukkan kepada RISDA. Kalau wang tu dimasukkan awal, boleh bayar awal lah. Tapi kalau dimasukkan lewat, bayar lewat. Jadi itu bergantung kepada wang yang dimasukkan ke RISDA. Sekarang dah siap. Jumlah penerima tu dah ada. Cuma kita tunggu peruntukan. Kalau peruntukan tu masuk, kita bayar. InsyaAllah kita bayar.
The minister was met after meeting Pahang RISDA smallholders in Kampung Mela, Kuala Lipis. In other developments, Datuk Seri Madzir said a total of RM508.02 million had been allocated to implement the rubber replanting development program nationwide. The program also involves productivity and marketing programs as well as entrepreneurship programs. Malaysia's leading index LI rose 4% year-on-year to 111.3 points in August 2022, indicating that the economic growth momentum will continue moving forward. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia DOSM, DLI at 107.0 points in August 2021 is a predictive tool used to anticipate economic upturns and downturns, an average of 4 to 6 months ahead. DOSM said the growth in August this year was primarily supported by steady gains in the number of housing units approved, real imports of other basic precious and other non-ferrous metals, as well as the number of new companies registered. Compared to the previous month, DLI returned to positive growth of 1.6% in August 2022 from negative 2.0%, mainly propelled by the number of housing units approved up to 1.1% and real imports of semiconductors of up to 1.0%. Moving forward, DOSM said there are signs that Malaysia will continue to uphold its growth momentum as tracked by the long-term trend index. However, the economic growth performance depends on initiatives taken to address the cost of living issue and efforts in mitigating the effects of slowing global economic growth and trade activity. The collaboration of 50 renowned hotel groups from Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia and the Philippines will reinforce the AirAsia Super App as the regional platform of choice for hotel bookings. Capital A Chief Executive Officer Tan Sri Tony Fernandez said, as an online tourism agency OTA currently, the AirAsia Super App has over 700,000 listed hotels. An added benefit of being an OTA that also owns a flight company, the AirAsia Super App is capable of offering the unique combination of flight bookings and hotel reservations on one platform. Tan Sri Tony said the reopening of borders alongside the resumption of tourism and businesses as usual at the global level is needed for the full recovery of the whole industry, including Capital A. The AirAsia Super App also guarantees the best rates for hotel bookings through the Best Price Guarantee Scheme, as well as added benefits such as special rates for AirAsia members. In a foreign front, Prime Minister Sunak promises to unite the UK after weeks of political turmoil.
Ya, saluran industri kreatif. Manakah yang bakal dinobatkan terbaik di kalangan yang terbaik? Saksikan Anugerah Sri Angkasa 2022 di Pusat Konvensyen Antarabangsa Putrajaya pada 29 dan 30 Oktober 2022. Saksikan secara langsung di TV2. Anugerah Sri Angkasa, kemungkinan puncak kecemerlangan.
Popular messaging app WhatsApp has stopped working for many users across the world, with users across India, the United Kingdom, South Africa and Asia reporting issues with sending and receiving text and videos. Problems with hugely popular service were reported by monitoring site Down Detector and user complaints on social media. Social media users said they were unable to connect to the app or send messages. Down Detector said more than 11,000 users across India had reported an outage, while the numbers for United Kingdom were 68,000 and 90,000 for Singapore as of about 7:50 GMT. The outage may have affected a large number of users. WhatsApp's parent company Meta suffered an unprecedented major outage last year. Rishi Sunak today became Britain's third Prime Minister this year and the first person of colour to lead the former imperial power, vowing to mend the mistakes of Liz Truss's calamitous 49-day tenure. Sunak addressed the nation outside 10 Downing Street after his appointment by King Charles III, capping the latest extraordinary twist in UK politics following Boris Johnson's demise in July.
I will unite our country, not with words, but with action. I will work day in and day out to deliver for you. This government will have integrity, professionalism, and accountability at every level. Trust is earned, and I will earn yours.
The former finance minister also unstinting support for Ukraine, even while warning of difficult budget choices ahead. Sunak became the ruling Conservatives' new leader on Monday after triumphing over rival contender Penny Mordaunt, who failed to secure enough nominations from Tory MPs. Sunak, a Hindu, is the first British Indian Prime Minister and at 42, the youngest leader in more than 2 centuries. Sunak took power in a morning audience with Charles, who anointed his first Prime Minister since ascending the throne following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. 6 Palestinians were killed in sweeping Israeli raids in the occupied West Bank and what the army described as an assault targeting the emerging Lion's Den armed group. Among those killed in northern West Bank city of Nablus was the group leader Wadi al-Hu. The Palestinian Health Ministry initially reported 3 dead and 19 wounded shot by Israeli fire in Nablus. Later statements said that 2 more Palestinians had died in Nablus, while another Palestinian was also killed after being shot in the chest in overnight clashes at the village of Nabi Saleh, north of Ramallah. The Zionist army said it had carried out a vast operation with police and intelligence officers targeting a site used by the main operatives of the Lion's Den, describing it as a headquarters and a workshop for making weapons. Separately, rights group Amnesty International called for an International Criminal Court (ICC) probe into possible war crimes committed in August by both Israeli forces and Palestinian fighters during deadly fighting in Gaza. At least 49 Palestinians, including combatants but also civilians, were killed in the Israeli blockade Gaza Strip during the 3-day conflict. New Delhi wakes up to toxic smog after Diwali revelers defied a firecracker ban and risk jail to celebrate the annual Hindu festival. According to international monitoring company ICAIR, harmful PM2.5 particles surged to 350 on the air quality index, more than 3 times the reading a day earlier. A woman was detained today by Indonesian authorities for carrying a gun outside the Merdeka Presidential Palace in Jakarta, though President Joko Widodo was not there at the time and no injuries were reported. Officials said the woman appeared to be in her 20s and was wearing the niqab, adding that she was apprehended by security officers after brandishing the gun near the palace but did not enter the palace compound. Residents in Dhaka face a flooded street and traffic disruption after a cyclone roared into the country, triggering strong winds and heavy rain. Cyclone Sitrang barreled in from the Bay of Bengal early in the day, with winds gusting of up to 88 kilometers per hour and a storm surge of about 3 meters that flooded low-lying coastal areas. At least 9 people were killed as the cyclone destroyed houses, uprooted trees, and disrupted road, power, and communication links. Zija climbs to world number 2, there and more next in sports. Men's singles Lee Zija is now officially the world number 2 on the BWF World Rankings after he finished as Denmark Open runners-up on Sunday. Zija moved in behind Victor Exelsen with 92,528 points to put a significant distance between him and world number 3 Anderson Townsend. Zija did well at the Denmark Open by reaching the final before he was taken out in 3 games by China's Shi Yuqi. Exelsen of Denmark remains at the top of the list with 122,606 points. Meanwhile, mixed doubles shuttler Tan Kian Meng Lai Peijing also moved up 1 rung to number 9. The pair collected 67 and 70 points. The Malaysian doubles pair Aaron Chia So Yik meanwhile remains at number 4 with 91,428 points. National Men's Hockey Junior Squad's head coach Muhammad Amin Rahim believes his squad would need to play at least 50 international matches to prepare for the 2023 Hockey Junior World Cup scheduled for November next year. He said most of the junior players had just had their first taste of international action, playing in the ongoing Sultan of Johor Cup SOJC, and that the team had only recently started playing again. As such, they would need to focus on strengthening and conditioning their mental ability to play through the 60 minutes of the high-intensity competition in international matches consistently. The junior squad has been playing dismally at the SOJC, losing 2-5 to India on 22nd October and then faced a 0-8 rout at the hands of Australia yesterday at Taman Hockey Stadium, Johor Bahru. They have 3 more matches to play against South Africa tonight, Great Britain tomorrow and Japan on 28th October. Muhammad Amin added that the coaching team will use the SOJC tournament to identify mistakes and weaknesses as they prepare the squad for the Junior World Cup and to meet the MHC's target of qualifying for the semi-finals. Terengganu FC TFC head coach Nafuzi Mazain admits that a tough task awaits his men when they face Sri Pahang FC in the opening match of the Malaysia Cup campaign at the Darul Makmur Stadium in Kuantan tomorrow night. Nafuzi said he has seen improvements in Sri Pahang's playing style in the last 2 matches of the Super League, including when they beat Negeri Sembilan FC and SFC 2-0 at the Darul Makmur Stadium recently. He said that the presence of Litak and Sergio Aguero in the attacking and central positions would definitely have a positive impact on Sri Pahang, adding he expected a fierce fight from the Tok Gajah squad, who are guided by a coach with extensive experience. Despite the challenge, Nafuzi remains optimistic that they will be able to tame the Tok Gajah squad at home ground if his men work hard and display their best performance. Meanwhile, Nafuzi said he was relieved that all the players, including 2 import pillars, Pape Diakite and Petrus Shitembi, who were injured during the match against Kedah Darul Aman KDAFC, have recovered from their injuries. Alright, and moving to Champions League, Benfica and Juventus made their final preparations ahead of their Group H match early tomorrow, which could see the Portuguese side progress to the knockouts and Juventus eliminated from the competition. Benfica manager Roger Schmidt promised to play for the win, but added that they were wary of being complacent against the side with back-to-back wins in Serie A.
We expect the best Juve, and we have to be ready for that. So we will not count on any weak spots of the opponent. We will have to play on our top level to qualify these two matches, first tomorrow and then in Maccabi. So it's a tough group. We knew that from the beginning, and we're doing not the mistake to underestimate our situation right now.
Juventus lost at Maccabi Haifa in their last Champions League game, now has them on the brink of elimination in a group where they were expected to qualify alongside Paris Saint-Germain and ahead of Benfica.
Però non pensiamo a questo, vediamo che domani invece abbiamo la possibilità di perlomeno di tenere aperta la porta, perché poi se il Benfica in caso di sconfitta domani vincesse l'ultima, noi non potremo fare altro che andare in Europa League. Però tanto facciamo un passettino alla volta, quindi domani è una bella partita da vivere, da giocare, la squadra sta bene fisicamente e mentalmente, l'importante è che facciamo una partita di grande compattezza.
The Italians need 2 wins away against Benfica and home to PSG, while also needing at least one of PSG or Benfica to lose against Maccabi Haifa. In Group G, Borussia Dortmund are looking for their star midfielder Jude Bellingham to help guide the team to win against the group leaders Manchester City in order to secure a passage into the knockout phase of the competition. Dortmund coach Edin Terzic heaped praise on Bellingham at the news ahead of the match, saying he expects the 19-year-old English midfielder to maintain his high form in the competition, where he has scored a goal in every one of the 4 group games to date.
And we are really happy that Jude is performing this way. I think this season he has a bit of a different role inside the team. He's more attacking. He's entering the opposition box many times. He scored already 8 goals for us this season. This is the next step that we spoke about and chat with him before the season, and we are really happy that he's performing this way. But we know that his development is not finished yet, and we are here to support him and to find his limits.
Alright, so that concludes today's news at 10. In our top story, stern action awaits students who sell their Peranti Siswa tablets. Don't forget to tune in to updates at noon tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Till then, I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.